Quick, graph y equals the natural log of the opposite of x by hand 2 different ways, and decide if the natural log function is even, odd, or neither. This is part of the Family of Functions series. You will need graph paper or download this PDF and print it, and press pause as needed anytime during this video. The first way is with the natural log of x dance. Y equals natural log of x has an asymptote at x equals 0. The negative in the argument has no effect on this asymptote, so we'll go ahead and draw that in. The origin also is unchanged by the negative sign in the argument, so we'll plot all of our points relative to this origin. Normally we plot right 1 up 0, but because of the negative sign on x, values for x need to be negative. So we're going to go -1, 0, which is left 1 up 0. When x is -1, the natural log of the opposite of -1 is the natural log of 1, which is 0. Left e, which is about 2.7, up 1. When x is negative e, the natural log of the opposite of negative e is the natural log of e, which is 1. Left e squared, which is about 7.4 up 2. When x is the opposite, or negative e squared, the natural log of the opposite of the negative e squared is natural log of e squared, which is 2. Left e to the -1, which is about 0.4, and down 1. When x is negative e to the -1, the natural log of the opposite of that negative e to the -1 is the natural log of e to the -1, which is -1. All those negative signs, sorry about that. And finally, left e to the -2, which is about 0.14, and down 2. The natural log of the opposite of negative e to the -2 is the natural log of positive e -2, which is -2. Again, a lot of negative signs floating around there. So go ahead and connect the points. And this is our graph of y equals the natural log of the opposite of x. We compare that to the parent function, and you can see that those are not equal, so this is not an even function. If we look at the opposite of the natural log of x, you can see that it's not equal to any of these either, and so the natural log is not an odd function. In fact, it's neither even nor odd. Using a table, these are our values from the table that we're supposed to know. Recall that the argument of the natural log function must be positive, so we're going to have to use the opposites of those values in the table. So we're going to take the opposite of what's there and then take the natural log, because that's what the function says to do here. So the opposite of negative e squared is going to be the natural log of e squared, which is a natural log of 7.4, which is 2. So -7.4 comma 2 is our first point. Here we're going to use negative e, and take the opposite of that, it's positive e, and the natural log of that is 1. So -2.7 approximately, comma 1. Natural log of the opposite of -1 is a natural log of 1, which is 0, -1 comma 0. The natural log of the opposite of negative e to the -1 is a natural log of e to the -1, which is -1. So -0.4 comma -1. And finally, the natural log of the opposite of the negative e to the -2 is the natural log of e to the -2, which is -2. So approximately -0.14 comma -2. Draw the asymptote, which is the y-axis. Connect the points. And compare that to the parent function and to the opposite of f of x. And you can see that the natural log is neither even nor odd.